Hey, I got a challenge for you. If anybody that comments, try to figure out who that is.
Yeah.
If they're doing 24% of the information about Ukraine at that time, come on, man. Y'all got to know. So I want to see it in the comments below. That's the challenge. That's the comment challenge.
Oh, we should start
Tell
doing
us
that more
who
often.
is that, and you could win nothing but a
kudos
thumbs
from
up
us.
from
Yay!
SK
Podcast. Yeah. So.
Oh! Where'd you go?
You
You
disappeared.
was about to have me like, whoa,
Ho, ho.
man.
Oh, man,
Where'd I
that's
go?
funny.
Here
There
I
you
am,
are.
and here we
Lord.
are, and welcome, freedom lovers, again back to another episode of SK Podcast. Man, we're glad you guys came, and man, if that intro song don't get y'all pumped up, I don't know.
Ah,
what will.
every
I mean,
time. I love it.
we're in here
I
like
love it.
head banging.
Jamming.
Let's get going in this movement. But anyway, we are going to get back into these Twitter files. This is part 2, so if you haven't seen the first one, y'all go back and check that out.
Please.
Yep. And we even have a catch-up video if you don't have
Time.
but you won't know all that we're talking about here. So you may want to watch the whole video. But you do at least have a catch-up video.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Yes.
And Elon is taking his time on getting this stuff out, so we might as well really slow down and dig into them. These reporters that are putting them out, Alan and Matt, I think his name's Alan.
Then
the
Lee.
other guy.
Yeah.
So they got these out, and yeah, they're a little old, but I mean, I know news is flying at us so fast right now, but slow down. Let's see what really went on in these Twitter files. And
I'm loving it.
We want to just, here at SK, we want to dig in and slow down on some of these very important stories. You know, we'll get into these secret documents that everybody's talking about right now that's at Pence's house, Biden's house, Obama's,
Little tease.
Trump's.
Everybody's got some classified. I think I had some in my trunk. Oops.
Oops.
But,
you just outed yourself.
You know,
Like, bitch, you self-reported.
and Cash Patel's coming up with some
Self-reported.
good info about all that. But we'll get to that. We need to see what happens. We're not about the hype, okay? We're going to slow down. We're going to do this part 2 through Twitters. We're going to get Glenn to roll through this. And I think I just took your part, Kim. You were supposed to intro on. This is Glenn Bailey right here.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's Kimberly Steinbrink. And your boy, Stephen
And
Rosario.
your boy, that's who you are.
Yes.
All right, boys, you ready?
Yep. Okay.
Good job.
So we were at 32.
All right.
This is basically talking about the FBI meddling in our elections, basically. Their emails coming back and forth from the head office in D.C., San Francisco office, and other offices around the country, going to Twitter and saying, okay, do this, take these sites down, all these Twitter, accounts down because they're sending disinformation through the Twitter. But we found out this is not that in fact it was not fake news or disinformation. It was actually the truth in the long haul. So
this was a conspiracy theory.
conspiracy theory.
Just months ago.
Correct.
That man, it seems weird that everybody's got this Mockingbird media that everybody's saying the same things and nobody's talking about this, and these people are getting. I think we're being suppressed.
Yes, I agree.
You know, that was a
Yeah.
conspiracy theory, and now it's not.
It's not now.
And Trump said the election was meddled in, and this was the meddling he was talking about.
Yes.
Because remember,
Yeah.
and after on January 7th, Trump was taken off Twitter or something around there. So we knew after that Twitter was actually doing this. It wasn't actually the Twitter files. It was actually people after Trump was taken down off Twitter. People were like, is Twitter in bed with our federal government to take down Trump? So
Right.
just some critical thinkers
And then
out
here
there.
you actually have the facts. You actually
The
have
proof.
them- yeah, the
The
proof.
pudding.
The proof.
The pudding.
And
that's
the
not-
pudding.
that we're about to dig into right now.
Get your
Yes.
spoon.
Give me an
Get your
extra plate
spoon.
of
Get
that.
your spoons ready. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you look at this photo, it says close because they were done with it. But name for the project is Unified Escalations. I don't know what that means, but it sounds kind of scary to me.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
That's
Yeah.
the project name?
Yeah, the project name.
Unified
Escalations.
Unified, like planned
Planned, probably. That's what it sounds like to
all
me.
together.
United.
And security level, SI restricted.
Yeah.
What? So of course it was going to be restricted because
Yeah.
the FBI is going to be involved with it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think low level FBI agents won't be able to get to this. This is top
Yeah.
head stuff,
The low levels are the whistleblowers that are
Yeah.
going and talking to Jim Jordan.
right?
That's right.
Or Chuck Grassley
Yeah.
or Holly.
So the low level restricted. Just like you low level conservatives out there, just restricted from freedom of speech.
Right.
Exactly.
So and then if you go further down in the actual email here, it says, "Hi, blank. After I reviewed the accounts and found no links to Russia, I asked blank on this ticket and blank, and this was his answer. Thanks for tagging in the workflow. From my checks, I could not find any indicators to suggest that the account is Russian. Even the other phone linked accounts does not have any indicators to suggest it is Russian. It is Russian proxy. Did checks via Dominion tools for IP resolves and email checks for OSNet. However, going by the content and narrative coming out from the account is definitely pro-Russian, and or it could be a Russian proxy. I can brainstorm with and see if we can dig even deeper and to find a stronger connection." So they were trying to find a connection between Russia and this misinformation.
They're like, look,
Yeah.
this isn't going to work. Okay, this isn't strong enough. We need to
Yep.
dig a little deeper to make this deception happen for the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, we
Is
really
what I'm
got to
hearing.
plan
Right,
it out
that's
a
what
lot
that's
better,
what
guys.
right because he says I can brainstorm in the last
And
sentence.
see if we can dig deeper and try to find stronger connection, because there was not really a connection. So they
Right.
were hoping if they dug, then there would be a stronger connection
Right.
somewhere else. Yeah.
So it continues. It says, "Hey, looked into this here. Didn't find any exact naming matches and really any information to link the Reddit accounts to any on platform presence at Twitter. There was one account that has a incredibly tenuous circumstantial chance of being related. So documenting the account here just in case we ever need to come back to it." You go. So blank.
Yeah.
Redacted.
Like that.
So what does he mean by extremely tenuous circumstantial chance of being related? I think that's just like, oh, here's a little link we might find. You know,
Put it in your
Yeah.
back pocket.
but just keep it there just in case something happens,
Wow.
Why? Okay. Then you'll roll. This is continuing this.
Well, they had already made the narrative of Russia.
Right. So it's stuck.
It's like,
it's
man,
in people's
we've
heads
got to make this stick.
Right.
somehow. So, and the thing about the Russia story, we all knew was fake going about 2018 because, the Nunes memo and all that stuff made it clear that Russia didn't interfere in the 2016 election.
Yeah.
So, but they want to keep the Russian thing to stick, so they keep circulating in the news. Russia did this, and this, but they change it every so often.
I always thought that the narrative of the Russia in meddling in the election was just weak. I was like, really? They think that us Americans are sitting here watching Russian propaganda that's going to
Exactly.
somehow affect massively the vote for Trump?
No.
I mean, it was just a weak argument from the get. I never really, no matter if this came out or Nunes dropped this about, look, it was just a weak argument.
It was very weak.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, I would think Russia would be for Hillary, not Trump.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Putin had a very good relationship with Hillary Clinton when she was Secretary of State. Remember, Uranium One.
That's what I was thinking about. Was
Yeah.
where did the uranium go? Like, there's that story out there.
And that's Secretary of State and Department of
I'm sure it's in
Defense.
all those files that got
wiped,
whitewashed.
bit washed. Yeah.
Yep.
And I
So-
would wonder why.
Went through the laundry, man.
That's what I
Oops.
would think, though,
Oops.
was like, why would, to your point,
Exactly.
like, why would Putin even want to help Trump? Trump's, like, sanctioning them and on the steel.
And obviously going to do it more whenever
Exactly.
he became president. I mean,
And he said that. So, I mean,
yeah. And none of it made any sense, but they wanted it to because we're supposed to hate Russia, right?
Exactly.
We're supposed to be like bad
We've
Russia.
already been brainwashed
Well, see,
into, like,
and
Putin bad.
think about this.
Putin back.
And I-
Remember during the Cold War, Russia was our enemy.
Yes.
But now they're just like, they're not
I mean, but
as
it's
powerful
kinda-
as they were when
In
it
the
comes to
same way, it's kind of
no,
like them trying to push
it's more
us
economic.
being like mad at Japanese people because
Exactly.
of, you know,
Pearl Harbor.
And
Pearl
I
Harbor,
really don't
and
know.
it's like, okay, but that was then. That was a group of people. We took care of that. That we don't feel that way anymore about those people, and especially it's usually the government anyway.
Exactly.
It just makes
Well,
no
I'm not
sense.
versed in the politics of that time. Like I'm looking at now. I'm
Right.
looking at
Well,
right now.
yeah.
We are
It's like we
focused
shouldn't
on
still
America
be
first.
focused on anti.
But
And
everything
I
we've-
have nothing against Putin be Russia first.
right.
Like that's where we're at right
That's
now.
his country.
But
he
you
needs
see,
to fight for his country.
Everything that's led up to this kind of brings the idea like, okay, the Soviet Union's bad. It's Russia's bad. So there's a connection between back then and today that we can't unhook unless we actually go back and find, oh, well, see, McCarthy, the Red Scare, that really what started it all.
What are you talking about, McCarthy Red Scare?
So not current
Not-
McCarthy,
Not Speaker McCarthy.
not Speaker McCarthy, but there was a House of Representative McCarthy,
Yeah, that's right.
and he said, "Oh, these are communists, these are communists, these are Russians."
They had the list.
They had
and
the
all
list.
came-
That's what started their anti-Russia really bad. That's really what really
was
started.
that in the 80s?
That was like in the 60s and
Mhm.
50s.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
because
okay.
wasn't that where
Post
they would
World War
call
II.
people up to have these hearings?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it would be like Hollywood people, all these other
Yeah.
people that they considered to be communists, and would drill them and drill them and drill them and drill them.
Right.
Now just imagine McCarthy being alive today when it comes to that. Now he'd be like, "Aha, we know you're a communist. Aha, we can spy on you. We know you're a communist." So
Here's the proof.
Here's the proof, exactly. But let's go on to the next one here. So, no real matches using most of the info. The only thing that did turn up something was the IP addresses and accounts using multiple from the provided. Even then, nothing looked particularly violative. Some clearly Russian though, but also included an account for a house rental in South Carolina. Yo, Rolf, not really anything worth talking about, but there are two persons linked to two clusters that they might be interested in. Both appear to be Russian-like names, however. I wouldn't even call that a slam dunk since it was based on the IP data. And I think at least one of the returned accounts from the IP data doesn't at all look related. So they knew all this was fake.
Could have been using different IPs.
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
it could have been a Russian
See,
IP, but we
yeah,
can't prove
now-
it was Russia.
Remember, we got these NordVPNs, these VPNs now that they can they can
Right.
fake your IP address.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
It's a security thing.
the security thing, so they can be using that for different things. Somebody in the United States might have been
So-
watching some Russian TV
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
United States, but
Some
using
RT.
NordVPN. Yeah,
That's been outlawed, hadn't it? In some countries, you can't watch RT.
Well, it's back on though. I've seen it now back on mainstream stuff.
The rental in South Carolina.
what?
Is that is that like some spam?
I don't know.
You did
They were
not-
like,
Well,
man, and I
but it was a
almost
house
rented this
rental,
house
so-
in South
But
Carolina.
also included an account for house rental. I'm
What?
sorry. Like,
So
what?
here's the thing:
Wonderful
why?
square footage.
Unless this was like a Russian who got kicked out of the country, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna rent the house to some American."
Yeah.
Trying to make
Yeah.
It could have been that, or
It just sounded spammy.
it does
And
sound
I mean,
kind of
when they're
wondering why the
grasping
FBI is
at
talking about it.
those small little straws,
Right.
that's when you know you don't have a case.
That's
That's
when
when
no-
you should have called it off because there isn't anything to see here in a
normal
normal
Amer-
circumstance.
Right. Normal Americans would have just kept scrolling.
conservative Americans will keep scrolling. Liberals be like, let's go down the rabbit hole here and see what we got. See, that's what the left would do. Conservatives are like, this sounds spammy. Let's go.
Just critical thinking, man.
Exactly. Think with your brain, not feelings. So the next one was about a. So y'all did a research thing about pro Maduro accounts from Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, "Hey blank, thanks for reaching out. A couple of things from a quick review of this data. A few of the accounts whose tweets appear in your list are not IRA or Russian linked. In February 2019, we re-released our RI link datasets, excluding a number of accounts that were operated out of Venezuela. Those accounts were extremely high volume tweeters, generally using automation, which in a way that was pretty uncharacteristic of a lot of the other IRA activity. We have very high confidence that they are not linked to the IRA or to Russian activity in any form. The current official datasets you can download from us do not include these accounts in the RU archive, and instead include them in a 2019 release of Venezuelan activity titled Venezuela during 2019, set to 764 accounts. If you download the unhatched Venezuela release, you should be able to cross-reference and exclude. Also, at least a couple of tweets I spot-checked were deleted by the users themselves. When we first published our archives of Russian activity, we indicated that we excluded tweets deleted prior to the suspension of the account, amounting to at least less than 1% decrease in the volume of tweets. As best as we are able to tell, we have to exclude them due to legal constraints, but again, the volume they were should be a very small part of the overall RU activity. If you see something different after excluding the Venezuelan accounts, let me know if I can dig into it. Oh, I can dig back in. Thanks.
Man, I bet the
Yeah.
FBI was getting pissed.
Yeah.
They're like, man, come on, y'all gotta find some stuff for us.
Right. But the thing is, they find Venezuelan stuff, but they don't find Russian, which is makes me
Right. And I was looking back up in that Venezuelan automated, like, okay, so they were just, I mean, was it all cool that they were just finding these, that made me think of bots.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
they found a bunch of bots and didn't restrict them or anything?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Well, the thing
That
is,
too.
with bots, you don't know where they're actually coming from. They can have a different IP address.
okay.
They could be from Russia.
So now you're getting technical.
Yeah, see, that's what the FBI is trying to do. They're
Right.
trying to. You got to think about the FBI in this matter.
Well, they had bots just well,
Everywhere,
I don't know if
yeah.
the FBI had
I think they
bots,
did.
you
Or
know,
I think the
what it's
CIA
looking
did,
like.
not the FBI.
Or just a bunch of bogus crazy libs
So-
that knew how to do it. And,
See, here's what I think. I think the Democrats, the FBI, CIA, all these three-letter agencies got together and said, "Okay, I'll give you this much money if you make these accounts." You know, leadership in the Democratic Party.
we
Or
should have
just
some
favors for
whistleblowers.
favors. You
Yeah,
never know.
quid pro quo based ideas.
Yeah.
I think there would be some whistleblowers that would come out being like, well, I don't know, man, because if you got the CIA paying you, you gotta keep your mouth shut.
Exactly.
Or at least until things like really,
Calm down.
yeah.
Let's see.
All right.
Due to technical evidence. Okay. So, this is Joel Roth was carbon copied in this email. We don't know who it was. Yep. Info BRCS is an entity that we've received previous notice on, though if recollection serves, government partners have never been so specific as to say that it was directly controlled by the GRU. BRCS is inherently Russian-dominated economic organization, so it was always likely that a website and Twitter account designed to promote it would be directed by the Kremlin. Make sure I said that right. Yeah. Due to a lack of technical evidence on our end, I have generally left it be, waiting for more evidence. I think our window on that is closing, given that the government partners are becoming more aggressive on attribution and reporting on it. I'm going ahead with suspension and marking them with domain as unsafe. Rebel Inside was a new one for me too. Not even sure what the goal of the account could possibly be, other than to highlight unrest in other areas of the world besides Russia.
Oh, so
I've already suspended it and marked it as its domain as unsafe.
what?
So, I mean-
Rebel News? Is that what he's talking about?
Well,
Rebel Inside.
Yeah, but I mean, that's probably affiliated with Rebel News.
Probably so.
And
But
those
I mean,
were the
it
guys.
would make sense that they would want to take something like that down.
Right.
And it's just weird to me that it was like, I don't know what the goal of the account could be except for to highlight unrest in other areas of the world besides Russia.
Right.
Because there is.
Yeah, and then
Like, what's bad about that? Why would you then mark it, suspend it and mark the domain unsafe?
So,
Why?
because they're probably telling what's going on with everything else in the world, not just with Russia.
Yeah, that's what I
See,
mean.
they want to keep everything on Russia.
Focus, yeah.
They want to keep the
It seems so like
They were like,
the magnifying glass on Russia, not anything else.
and what Rebel was doing was highlighting nationalism that was going on in these other countries.
Right.
Remember, you put me on to Avi.
yeah, which I think we're gonna have to dig back into the new Davos meeting from
Yes.
last
Oh, man,
week.
that
I agree.
I say we do that next week.
Well,
Sounds like a good idea.
those WEFers.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's what I see this as: Twitter's independence as media companies closed. Like they completely closed itself. Like, okay, we're gonna be a left wing organization no matter what. I don't care. All conservative sites are like Twitter's. They're gone. No more. All left wing sources are allowed, but no conservative sources are allowed.
Oh yeah,
That's how I see it.
obviously-
That's how I see it.
And that was definitely before Elon took over.
Yes.
That's pretty much exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Digging for it. Look at them grasping. So
So-
that's what I've seen so far is just a grasp from
Yes.
these, like just working with the FBI lockstep, saying, "Hey man, I'm sorry, we could not take this, and we couldn't do this, we didn't find this and this."
Yeah, and
But
like
we're still
basically,
hunting.
please forgive us for not
Oh.
finding this.
So look at the top of this document coming up. So it says USA other Apple, other Google/YouTube, other Facebook/Meta, other Twitter, Reddit, Verizon Media, Yahoo, LinkedIn, other Wikipedia. These are, I don't know what those are. That's from April of 2022. This is unclassified information. This information is provided only for the intelligence purposes in an effort to develop potential investigative leads. It cannot be used in connection with any foreign or domestic court proceedings or for any other legal, judicial, or administrative purposes. We previously passed you information that highlighted that as part of the Russian mogul, don't know how to say his name, Internet Research Agency, or the IRA, attempted to deintegrate French President Emmanuel Macron's campaign ahead of late of April 2020 of the runoff election. IRA plans to expose its own troll farms in Benin, Mali, and Senegal, while allowing Macron's campaign was the entity responsible for the use and creation. We assess the following links are also part of the IRA's effort to amplify the same narratives. All those websites, links.
So this is them reporting that they are going to suppress Macron's dissent, or the people that are
dissent against Macron,
So his campaign that happened last summer.
pretty much.
So
Last spring.
Wow.
So this is not
This
just
is
going
right
on.
before Elon bought it.
This is right.
Oh, yeah.
So the funny thing is, now this is showing it's a worldwide problem, not just
Yes.
the
This
United
just got
States.
global.
Exactly. So it's not our CIA. It's just like the MI6. It's whatever the French version of it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's moving from Russia to more countries.
Exactly.
This is spreading
Remember-
across the globe, not just dealing with our adversaries.
No, this is
Russia.
or see if this was China, they wouldn't have a problem. They'll be like, "Oh, let's keep this quiet." No, nothing about China. Always about Russia.
Oh yeah.
That's
oh,
all
yeah.
it is. But the thing is, they want to keep your eyes away from China because China's rising, and Russia is pretty much plateauing at this point under Putin.
Yeah.
So, anyway, there's the whistleblowers believe the reports found the Twitter files were written by his former agency, so a CIA. So a lot of these documents were written by the CIA, probably. Let's go down to the suspected Russian troll farm, Ukraine propaganda. So key findings: Twitter profiles linked to a suspected Russian troll farm. Over 16,000 tweets mentioning Ukraine in the last 7 days. Top influencer blank has been mentioned in 3.9k tweets, roughly 24% of all tweets mentioning Ukraine. Profile created on November 28th, 2011. so it's about 11 years old. Profile is listed as location is listed as Belarus. Backup profile was created on 23rd February 2022 and is listed in blank bio, likely a preparation for suspension / deactivation of the primary profile.
Hey, I got a challenge
Okay.
for you. If anybody that comments, try to figure out who that is.
Yeah.
If they're doing 24% of the information about Ukraine at that time, come on, man, y'all got to know. So I want to see it in the comments below. That's the
Please.
challenge. That's the comment challenge.
Ooh, we should start
Tell
doing
us
that more
who
often.
is that, and you could win nothing but a
kudos
thumbs
from
up
us.
from
Yay.
SK.
Podcast. Yeah. So, prevailing narrative emphasizes similarity between current Ukraine government and Nazis during World War II, attributes Nazification to the U.S. government. And if you look over across, that's the sample they got. Over 91% of all the content gathered is English, which may indicate that Western audiences are primarily the target audience. Spike in Twitter activity on 24 February 2022 likely synchronized with Russian military advancement into Ukraine.
English is. I can't
Well,
say that.
look.
English is
It's
the
see, they're learning
global
English.
language. It's
See,
the language of the
They
world right now.
they have to learn English in these country schools.
Exactly. That's so when they're
It's
putting
like-
information out, and who is the leader in the world right now? I mean, really, the USA we lead. So if you're trying
For
to
now.
speak to this country, then you want to speak their language.
So, can you go back up for a second? You see that CIA logo with a swastika in it?
Yeah.
I know.
To be honest with you, so when after World War II, we took Nazis in, and we had I
Yep.
think it was like CIC, and then that became the CIA.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and it's
That's
full
something
of
to
them.
dig
It's
into.
full of them.
It's full
Yeah,
of 'em.
exactly.
Well, we took their doctors and everything.
We took their-
so, I mean,
everybody.
all the medical
Scientists.
experiments
So
that they were
NASA
doing.
Yeah.
NASA was one. Like
Yeah.
Walter Van Braun was NASA's top rocket scientist, and guess who
Yeah,
was?
it's just amazing to me. Like when I didn't know that we had taken like people that were Nazis from over there over here, and not that we like put them in prison or anything
We
like
paid
that
'em.
over here. No, we gave them really good jobs. We gave them cushy like positions in places like
we
this.
hung a few.
Why?
we did.
We hung a few,
But you see, here's
well,
the thing.
that was the show, though. That's a show.
So
Okay.
here's what I think.
Sorry.
Get your
There are
finger out
certain
of my
things
fire.
there are certain people that we needed in positions like Walter Van Braun for NASA, because we were at the time trying to make warheads
Yeah.
just in case the Soviets launched a nuke into us. That's why we kept him in power, like a high position of place. Then he's like, no, we're gonna move you to NASA to make space exploration possible.
Could you imagine if we had the information power the
Back
communicating power?
Oh my gosh.
And
That'd
that-
be great.
I mean, the government come out and say, look, I know these guys were like
Nazis,
killing off the London Jews, but man, he makes good warheads,
right?
Yeah.
and we got to keep them because I kind of want a warhead like that.
Exactly.
Like no one else.
Like, damn,
no
man.
one else
So,
can do the same.
You know-
for real.
so the Ukraine neo-Nazi propaganda overview below is the combination of Boolean search filters in English, Spanish, Russian, and Ukrainian to map the network of Twitter profiles linked to Ukraine neo-Nazi propaganda over the last 48 hours. So, the Russians think that the Ukrainians are Nazis, basically.
Well,
That's
I mean, aren't they like? Are you talking about right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are. They are
Exactly.
literally fighting on the side of Ukraine, supporting, Nazi sympathizing
Right.
or actual Nazis
See-
themselves in the actual.
So here's
groups.
here's the thing. Zelensky cut the Orthodox Church. Like he told the church no more. That's what Hitler did with the Jews, basically. So
So of course they're gonna fight for it.
exactly.
And I mean, if show me some pictures of Russian Nazis.
Thank you.
Like
Exactly.
I'm sure there are some. I'm sure
Exactly.
there's some.
I would like to
race-hating-
see it. We like to see both sides.
Right.
Exactly.
So they want to say that we're propaganda by putting all these Ukraine Azov Battalion pictures across
Right.
the internet, but where is the Russian sect that is just Nazi wanting to go and kill some Ukrainians just for the
Fun of it.
fun. Yeah,
Exactly.
or kill some Jews. There's no anti-Semitic imagery that I'm getting from Russia. Is Russia suppressing it?
Probably.
No.
No?
They wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to, because Ukraine could get out there and suppress that
See-
stuff, but they're not able to.
And-
We're
What makes me worried about Ukraine is remember when Ukraine accidentally shot a missile into Poland
Yep.
Yeah.
and they tried to blame it on Russia?
Yep.
That's what Hitler did.
Boy,
Yep.
that went away faster than I mean.
yeah,
Something-
you
that
don't
was
know.
like
'Cause
And the
they said-
thing that has constantly got me just as we were talking about this Ukraine, really propaganda, most of it. The reason I say that is because all these stories since the beginning of this new, turf battle, all these bombs blowing up certain buildings, there was like picture of one lady with like, it looked like half of her head, had been injured, and she had a bandage wrap around it. There was all these types of stuff, and then you could literally go one by one by one. It was either an old story,
oh yeah.
or it wasn't a daycare center like they said. It was an abandoned factory, or it was like you literally could take all these that were floating around, and they had the legitimate places that they were. They were like, this was
Right.
in the newspaper in 2013. How could that also happen again?
Most recent, they had that lady post and they're getting taken down. These people are deleting their tweets, and
Yep,
as soon
there's
as they
actual
find out that they
follow-up
were
now.
fake, like
Yeah.
posted a picture of a little 6-year-old boy that looked war torn. You
Yeah.
know, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
remember that? And it
Oh,
was
yeah.
from a book that was written in 2012 or
Yes.
something.
Yes, and it
And-
also had a picture of like the soldier going to fight
Yeah.
and like hugging
Yeah.
his wife, and that was in the book too.
Right.
And you're
So-
going, stop. We have internet now, so we can
Right.
look the stuff up.
It
Exactly.
is the Info Wars.
I know.
It's
Thank
pretty
goodness
much-
we're just a step ahead of
It's
them.
information war,
It
pretty much.
is.
Yeah.
So-
oh, it is.
There's some key findings they found. 5.4 thousand tweets gathered and 4.7 thousand Twitter profiles identified between February 23rd and February 25th, 2022. Propaganda has been being amplified by 185 known or suspected Twitter bots linked to Venezuela and Cuba. Top, they don't show you what the influences are. Prevailing narratives blame the U.S. for Nazification of the Ukraine. Biden is the architect of the 24 ousting of the leader, with 90% using U.S.-backed neo-Nazis and then putting his son on the board of Burisma. Wow, look at
Wow.
that. That leads to the laptop. So then
Right.
it says a CIA coup in Ukraine happened, which led to a fascist neo-Nazi regime being installed.
Yes. the
This has
Red
led to
Control Revolution.
NATO troops with potential of nuclear weapons being at the doorstep of Russia. Top languages are English, 78%, and Spanish, 19%. Western audiences may be primary target of propaganda. English is also the most used language on Twitter.
Well, duh.
Significant amount of Spanish content corroborates findings on Venezuela, Cuba implication. Of course, Cuba's going and Venezuela's going to amplify it because they're communist. Or, and then
It
here's-
just amazes me, like when you were just talking about
Right.
the prevailing narratives, for the quote Nazification.
So,
of the
so
Ukraine.
here's the funny thing. In Al Jazeera put out an article back in June of 2021, and it says Putin accuses of U.S. orchestrating 2014 coup in Ukraine. That's the headline.
What does it say? Say it again.
Putin accuses the U.S. of orchestrating the 2014 coup in Ukraine. Like, he accuses the United States of course we
Well,
did.
we came over
we
there. We
about it.
influenced the people. We set it up. We told
The
them how we're
CIA.
going to do it. It was from both sides of the aisle.
Exactly.
Let me show you how to do this. And then all of a sudden, that happened. How is that?
Remember,
that's not.
There's
The
audio,
leader-
there's
there's
audio,
everybody.
there's video. Victoria Newland, the other ambassador guy over there, working on who's the best to sit in this position of leadership
So-
over there. Like, we were infiltrating. We were trying to set up governments over there.
Right.
Yes.
See,
Yeah.
here's the funny thing. You see, in 2014, the leader of Ukraine was pro-Russia. So the United States, let's take him out and put Zelensky in.
Yeah.
And do you notice some kind of similarity between their installing their government over there
Yeah.
and how all of a sudden we have the same kind of stuff going on over here.
It's weird. It's very
That's
weird.
weird, isn't it?
Because the
So
CIA is involved
Okay.
in everything.
Just thought I'd mention.
And remember, Zelensky was an actor before he became president of
Oh, and
Ukraine.
he was an awful actor. He was gross and disgusting.
So
There's dance videos.
Failed
And-
actor.
and it's weird how people are like, oh,
Wait, hold on. Have you seen his stand-up?
no,
It's awful. He literally read it off of index cards,
stop,
reading
stop.
off his jokes. I was like, I thought you were a professional actor. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
so yeah.
Y'all can look that up.
Yeah, y'all can.
One second. Wrong.
It's not enough to
And
pop in there.
and I find it odd. Of course, the top languages are going to be English and Spanish. It makes no
Duh.
sense.
That is the top. They one and then two
It
of
has
the
to be.
whole world.
Exactly.
the
no
majority.
one. Not everybody speaks French.
Right.
Slav.
Everybody speaks Portuguese.
Spanish
Nope.
is well. Portuguese is
It's a mix.
pretty
Oh, it
close
is a
to
mix.
Spanish.
But I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
yeah.
Well, they have. If you continue for, they're another batch. This is called Batch 7, and these all are accounts linked to Maduro and Diaz Canal in Cuba, and propagating anti,
Keep on
Russian
scrolling,
leader.
girl. Keep on
Okay,
scrolling.
you gotta tell me when we go way
Sorry,
down.
sorry,
though.
sorry.
There
There
you
it goes.
Thank you.
It's just one long thing of black.
I know. Look at that.
It's weird.
Oh my gosh. Oh look, but it does look like flashing at signs. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
Okay. So why they're the ones? It was the Venezuelans and the Cubans doing it, not the Russians. Probably. That's what I think. They were like, okay, let's keep the Venezuelan and Cuban thing down, and just focus on Russia and blame it on Russia.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it as.
Oh yeah, they're trying to find anything. They're
Exactly.
literally grasping at straws. And what's funny is that if you actually had a case, you wouldn't have to grasp straws.
Exactly.
Right
Yeah,
there.
and Venezuela and Cuba's not threatening to them. They're trying to go after their threat, which
Exactly.
is Russia.
So,
Yep.
and then there's another tier line here. So we assess that the tragedy of Donbass, tragedy.info, a website documenting purported human rights abuses committed by the Ukrainians since 2014. It's directed by the Russian General Staff Main Intelligence Director, or GRU. End of text. What?
Okay.
We assess
We assess.
that the tragedy. So
Yes.
what does that mean? They prove, or they just?
They assessed it.
Assessed it.
They looked at it.
Basically, they assumed it.
I think
Exactly.
this guy's doing it.
No, it has. This has to be people within Ukraine doing it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
there's
and
no
I mean,
way.
it's documenting, which I have seen some. I mean, of course, I've seen them more during this, war here. But I mean, if you sit back and actually look at the stuff, and it's police, it's military, they really mistreat their
Right.
citizens extremely. And so I could see why people are sitting there going, "Russia, please come save us."
Right.
You know.
Because remember, the closer to Russia, that part of Ukraine that's closer to Russia is majority Russian.
Yeah.
So why just let that part of the country go to Russia? It's not that easy.
Why you
There's
gotta be
there's
all-
no war.
There was a vote done, and
Yep.
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 92 or something.
Exactly.
The low 90%
Said yes.
Said they wanted to go?
wanted to be a part of Russia.
Exactly.
I think that was Crimea. Was it Crimea?
Crimea.
Crimea.
I think it was.
But then there was another vote.
And they want to say that
That's
was
Illegitimate.
influenced, yeah, and illegitimate and influenced by.
The Kremlin.
Okay, so this influencing from, I guess, Twitter and tweets and all this stuff like that. So, okay, is it going to brainwash you, though? Because,
Probably.
okay, if these people are pointing it out and you're agreeing with what they're saying, you're saying, yeah, that's horrible, I want to go.
But when you
I just don't understand, okay? You're influenced, but that's not going to. I don't know.
when
I
you
don't know.
when you see the outpour of support from the actual citizens, like when they showed that Crimea voted in to be part of Russia, I mean, it was tens of
Literally.
Thousands of people.
fireworks.
There's
just
no
boom,
way.
bop, bop, and not any kind of show of the resistance. But when you show, like, and it that puts us in today with
Right.
Trump. It's like you see the Trump support.
Right.
Like we
It's
see
there.
Antifa, we see BLM, but that's not thousands and tens of thousands.
They don't
of
have any of those
organized
numbers. They don't have anything.
No, they don't.
close.
people with actual grievances, with
Exactly.
points that they're just throwing
Because
fists.
see, here's the thing: they're paid to do that too.
Yeah, but And they could say the same about but
Us.
we're not paying.
Yeah.
We're tens of thousands of just people on
See-
bridges that are just saying, "Hey, we can't even
And
make
another
it to your
thing-
rally, but we love you."
See,
It's like
Yeah.
they're
Having
that
parades.
support-
Having parades, exactly.
You cannot fake all the support that you
can't.
can physically see
Yeah.
that's out there
Remember-
for Trump, which is a huge reason he won
he
the
won.
election.
So here's like I said, in 2016, he filled a whole buttload of airplane hangars up, and a lot of people was like, "Oh, he's not gonna fill them up." And they had to push the stage outside just to fill that.
and you
It's crazy.
and then you see the contrast in
Exactly.
Biden's outturn in gyms.
Yeah, that
Even
this is
really
this kind of recent one that
should
was
have told you something.
like
Yeah.
a month ago, like a month or two ago, when they were it might have been before the elections. Yeah, it was before the elections, but even Obama
Where they
couldn't
sat in the
fill up a
backyard.
stadium.
Exactly,
Like six
Obama
people
couldn't
in
do
a
it.
circle.
Exactly.
You
Katie
see that?
Hobbs and all of them.
Oh,
Right.
well, it was supposed to be a backyard brunch or something like that.
What?
And I'm
No,
like,
this
that's
no,
is
it was
bull.
like
a
8
stadium where they used
This was a stadium.
curtains
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
flags
yeah,
to
that's
block
true.
off half
Sorry,
of
I
the
was thinking of a
Stadium.
different
Yeah. See, even Trump could fill up the Mississippi Coliseum
Yeah.
in Jackson.
Oh, with ease.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when he came in 2016, there were a few African Americans there. No joke. There were a few of them there. They're like,
You mean
"Huh."
black people?
Well, because
Yeah,
it
that's what I'm saying.
hasn't been told to them that they were supposed to hate Trump yet.
Right. So the funny
So-
thing is, I think Benny commented about it. He was like, I don't like Trump being in Jackson. Oh, he's going to ruin everything.
Yeah.
He wants to help them.
Yeah.
What the hell,
Well,
Benny?
I am definitely a European American that supports Trump.
And
Yes.
let me tell you, saying this back to Benny, who was the one that actually made sure that the HBCUs
We're funded.
were funded
Properly.
properly and not having to come back and ask, come back and ask, come back and ask. Who did that? Did you do it, Benny?
No. See,
Did not.
there are a lot of people that I know who go to HBCUs, and they're thankful for Trump's funding because there's no way they could have gone there if that
Right.
wasn't
And
there.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy that he did that. I didn't know that they had the issue
Right.
until it came out
See-
that he.
Well, we're European
See,
Americans.
and then
We're, you know,
and the funny thing is, people are like, "Oh, Obama funded them." Like, no, but they had to come back every year and ask.
Every year.
Now
Yeah.
Trump said, "Okay, we're going to fund you every year don't have to come back anymore. We're going to fund you. I don't care. We're going to fund them."
yeah.
And then they,
Wow.
but then
Wow.
don't forget, then Trump won more African Americans in 2020 because of that.
Right.
That's just the one reason Trump won it.
Yeah.
More
Acting
African
like they
Americans.
ain't paying attention, man.
Exactly. Some people are paying attention.
We coming together.
That was a lot of stuff.
Well,
and
we're
I
not
know
done
there's
yet.
still more. I mean, there's still. I was wearing this
Just
shirt for a
soaking it
reason.
in.
I was hoping maybe I would hear that
Some Fauci
something
stuff.
Fauci came out, but you know what? I'm just, I'm ready for all of it to come out.
I think Elon wants to take his time with
Yeah.
it. He doesn't
We're-
want to rush it.
I'm just trying to put the aura out there. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing. I'm
Hey,
not complaining.
Elon, post the Fauci files,
Please.
please.
Just
I'm looking at
pretty
you, Elon.
please. Pretty please with
something's
cherries
going
on top.
on.
It
with
has
that,
to be.
because it's not like I get the anticipation and the waiting, but I know that they know it's past the moment of anticipating
See?
for it and dropping it at the right time. Something's going on, man.
Remember, Fauci just got done with his.
He's gonna drop it. At
He
the
just
right
retired. Now, the House is going
He's
to call Fauci.
retired.
They're going to call Fauci up to the House, some oversight committee.
time. Yeah,
They're going to call him up.
yeah. They're getting
What's
ready
one of
for
his-
all that.
So
Dave.
I think they're
because
waiting.
that's been silent.
Right.
I asked you before we started here, like, has anybody heard
No.
anything about the committees? Like,
No, they're
you got
still.
a start date or something?
I thought they started this week. Personally, that's what I heard. But to be honest with you, I think they're waiting. Like you said, I think they're waiting for the right time to have when Fauci goes to D.C. Drop it right before, then the Republicans take in House and be like, "Ha ha, we got you." And the thing is, with the FOIA
Rand
requests have been
Paul,
happening.
He's gonna have.
Fauci's gonna have a
party.
hard time explaining himself in about, hopefully soon.
And I do want to make this point, man. There's a lot of people that are resigning, especially in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like in that, there's tons of resignations happening with corrupt people.
Exactly,
And
which is interesting.
I don't like that word resignate. I hope they don't think that that's how they get out of all this.
Yeah, well,
That's
I
probably how they
wouldn't
get all
think-
out of it.
But they
doesn't make
can't
any
be
sense.
able to get out of that.
I think
you can resign, but if you committed a crime, it doesn't matter if you left the
Then you
job or not.
No.
You're still going to
Yeah.
get the
Get-
cops at your door.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Like,
Well-
I mean, it just reminds me of a story I heard one time where this advanced checking place, this lady was money laundering the stuff.
Right.
She had quit, and it was like almost a year later when they realized that she was money laundering, and they went and arrested her. So I mean that right there.
well, that's the point I was going to make was like, well, what if you committed these crimes at the place you worked at the time?
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, I quit, bro. In a year, I mean, Fauci quitting and all these corrupt
That's not
politicians that are resigning, even you Democrats that said, I'm not going to run next year. If you were doing something,
Before.
It's
that
still
was-
illegal. You still got to pay for your crime.
See, and
you
here's the
gotta
thing.
yeah, you do the crime, you do the time, no matter if you're.
Oh, well, I'm not in the
spot or
position anymore.
Here's
Yeah.
what I
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think these politicians are like, it's something to get out because they know something's coming up.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
The CIA has probably like, oh shit, there's gonna be something coming up here soon. We know about it, but we just don't want to get out of town now. Be done with it.
Do you remember the letters that were handed out to
Yes,
like Obama and Hillary? And all
At
What
that?
was
at
that?
HW at
At-
W Bush
Yeah.
Bush's funeral. Yeah,
Yeah.
I sure do. I
Did
was
we ever
watching.
figure
So-
out what that
No,
was?
but
That's
remember,
what I'm saying,
their
like,
eyes were like,
It's fun to think
what?
about. Yeah, it's fun.
Oh
to
yeah,
really-
because it was definitely not something they wanted to see.
yeah.
It'd be funny if this document thing really starts it all. Just
Man.
imagine.
Like it's gonna be an exciting 2023.
I know.
as
so
And
far as-
2024,
it's just
hopefully.
January, y'all.
Yeah, it's just January. We're just getting started on this, man.
Oh
And
my gosh.
going back to the documents, Pence. What? Why would you? Oh my.
Dude, I know. I got the news on the way here about Pence. I'm
What
like,
the hell?
Where
Pence.
is this going?
See, here's what I think about the documents. I think Trump was the start of it.
Yeah.
Because I think here's what happened. Trump had his documents laid out when the FBI came there just to tip him off. And then the FBI says, you got to put these behind a lock in a safe. Then they padlocked it. Then they raided him a couple months later. I think Trump was trying to get the FBI to do something they didn't want to do.
Yeah, and I mean the Time magazine
Exactly.
thing sitting there. I mean, it just the
There's
way they
something
went
It
out,
about it.
definitely looked like they were put there in position there.
Now you got all
They were
this
positioned
dropping-
like that.
And since we're on that
way.
subject, Kash Patel dropping that, the CIA, the FBI had this information like summertime,
Years.
like or yeah, it could have been years, but
Could have been years.
and I don't
Did
know how
y'all-
long they've been
I
having
think
it.
Right
but
after
they're
Trump.
lying. My point is that they're lying about when they got this information,
Yeah.
who they got this information from. The NARSA, I think it was NARSA, but anyway, he calls them librarians that keep the archives and the classified,
Right.
that they reported to the FBI, hey, the books don't look right.
Right.
And as far as Kash Patel goes, if y'all don't know him, look him up.
He's great.
A attorney general or something. Or,
He was assistant something
yeah, man. He's been a prosecutor for
a long time.
a long time for terrorist groups and all this stuff. But anyway, you don't get that information from these people. The FBI knew about this, and that's some stuff that's dropping.
I just want to put a little wrinkle in your brain.
recent.
Here you go.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Wrinkle in your brain.
What's up?
Did you know that this week, and this was a Fox News story, that one of the FBI agents
Oh,
that
yeah.
raided
No, it
his
was.
Mar-a-Lago.
It wasn't an agent. It was the. He was the one in charge of the RussiaGate investigation.
Yeah, but he was also.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Right, he was okay. So a guy that was involved
Oh, yeah,
in the CIA. I can't remember
Retired
if it was CIA
top
or FBI.
Robert
Counter. It was counterintelligence FBI.
Yeah.
Watch your
So-
finger, man.
It said
I love this
retired
setup now.
retired top FBI counterintelligence agent who led Trump Russia probe arrested for his own ties to Russian oligarchs.
Wow.
What hypocritical?
There's your tie to Russia.
He's a hypocrite. What the hell?
I'm sorry.
It's
Charles
all
Mac-
coming together.
All you can do
Gonigal.
is laugh at this
I think
point.
that's his last name.
All you can do is a clown world. I'm just saying.
It
He was
is.
charged with breaking U.S. sanctions against Russia,
I'm full of popcorn.
and he was caught for money laundering too. There you go. Now that's how.
what's being done. What's being done?
See, this is what they do. They send money to Ukraine or to Russia behind closed doors and say, "Okay, keep the secrets.
And still doing it.
And they're
Yeah,
still
it's
doing
still
it.
going on. This is.
But the
this
thing
is
is
what
that
bugs me.
they're finding these small people. They're gonna get charged, and then I think what they're gonna do. They're gonna go into plea deals. Like, who
Oh,
else is doing it?
yeah.
Who else is doing it in the FBI? And then
I
everybody's-
hope so.
That's
It
who
would
I
have
think.
to be good people leading those things.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's
Well,
where it makes me
supposedly
nervous.
that's what we got, man. I mean,
I don't
have
think so.
respected Jordan. I mean, Jim. I think Jim's gonna do the job.
Well, some of these investigations are actually being led by the inside the FBI. I'm talking about like catching these people. Like
Oh, yeah,
when they go to
yeah.
plea deals, no, those aren't going to happen. They're going to be like, okay, shh, stay quiet.
Yeah, that's going to make it stay quiet because it's showing the agency doesn't know how to pick their people right,
Right.
and
Well-
they're letting people that have ties to Russia come and be the one to.
Investigate Russia, Trump. Yeah. And see, here's another thing. If you look at all the former and heads of the FBI right now, they're all. If you look at their pays to parties, it's all Democratic.
Yeah,
And
I mean-
and
Which shouldn't matter in the
in the
you
long
know,
run.
Oh.
But I mean, when
but
you're
when you have this,
noticing,
when you have this much evidence coming out of just
seems
blatant,
a little fishy.
oh, so remember when Biden's documents were found at his Penn Center, UPenn? So apparently, Secretary Blinken came from that center. So we actually have connection from not just Biden, but our secretary, one of our secretaries,
Yeah,
head of a department in the president's cabinet,
I wonder if it had
connected
anything
to
about
the Penn
Benghazi.
Center. What?
I wonder if he was checking in on stuff from Benghazi.
Probably.
You know,
Yeah.
making sure everything's okay.
I wonder if I wonder what those documents were for Trump. I really do. I really, really do. I'm very
I hope we'll find out one day.
Russiagate. That's probably what it
But
is.
back to the subject at hand, Twitter. I think we got a few more little
We do.
few more little drops to drop.
A few more threads, yes.
Little bird drops.
Little bird drops, yeah.
All right, so y'all gotta let me.
Let's
get
see,
back into
where
this.
were you? Okay, we're at now 48.
All right, number 48.
Often, intel reports are just long lists of newspapers, tweets, or YouTube videos guilty of anti-Ukraine narratives. And you just go down.
You
Twitter,
can't see
Twitter,
it.
Twitter. Of course, you can't see. They probably just for safety reasons they did that. Then you go down a little bit further. YouTube.
YouTube shorts.
YouTube shorts.
shorts.
They're all shorts.
They're all shorts.
And then you get more Twitter. So if you read this one, the IRA was responsible for the following posts and likely controlled the underpinning accounts handles. They think
So now
the Russia government controlled
Twitter's
these.
finally giving FBI something, saying,
Yeah.
here, we found
Yeah.
these.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But
It's
then
not just Twitter.
the email, it says, this is from Yoel. Privileged and confidential. Ooh.
All right.
Hi team, the questions we received are attached. I'm frankly perplexed by the request here, which seem more like something we get from a congressional committee than the Bureau.
Wow.
There's a
Ooh.
big discussion to be had about state-controlled media, which will be impacted by the label launch later this month, but I'm not particularly comfortable with the Bureau and, by extension, the IC, demanding written answers here.
Ooh.
What's your perspective on how best to navigate? Thanks.
So Yoel's getting a little shaky.
Yeah, he's getting a little shaky.
Said he wasn't comfortable with
Right.
it.
He
I
wasn't.
bet
Wow.
Yoel's singing like a bird right
Canary,
now.
yeah,
That's
singing like a canary.
Two.
So it says the line between misinformation and distorting propaganda is thin. Are we comfortable with so many companies receiving so many reports from a more aggressive government?
Wow.
Wow.
It is very thin.
It's-
I do agree it's thin.
It's wild that they actually released that Yoel's,
Right.
because he's been labeled the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from that, I'm seeing a guy that is saying, "Man, we're really getting ourselves into some deep crap right
Deep
here."
crap, yeah.
I think this should come from a congressional
Committee.
thing instead of a.
Instead of the
Wow.
Bureau.
Yeah.
That should be something. I mean, really, guys. Hey,
So the
let
last
me hear what you guys have to say about that. I mean, what do you? I
It's
want to
bad.
see what came after
I
this.
think it's
from
bad.
Yoel.
So the CIA. So the last part it says the CIA declined to comment on the nature of its relationship to tech companies like Twitter. Of course, they'd that's if they decline about something, you know they're hiding something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially the
I
CIA.
have no answers about that.
Especially the CIA.
Come out
I'll
and
get
say,
back
man,
with you
I ain't
later."
working with Twitter.
I'm like, are you working with Twitter?
I can't.
I'll get back to you with you later.
I
comment,
plead the fifth.
No
Exactly.
comment.
They want to say that way they don't incriminate themselves.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Play the fifth.
They're using the Constitution against the Constitution, basically.
Wow.
Well, we always, that's
Wow.
what the Constitution was. It was also set up to where if you think you are being infringed upon, here's how you can fight it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's where you can get picked.
It's the most
one
basic.
part against the other
Yeah.
part.
Dude,
most
those
basic
founders
law.
were a lot smarter than them WFers.
Jeez.
See,
They are
Wefers.
See,
some
here's what I think.
some
You
weepers.
stinking Weffer.
I think our education has dropped so bad since then that these people at the WF, they're not as smart as these people who founded our country.
Dude, they are so old. They are hopped up on.
See, and
I'm not even gonna say it. 'Cause
I was just
know I'm
watching
not
a video before I came over here. I was watching a video on the WF and how they get there. So they don't have an airport in Davos,
I saw that.
and then they had to helicopter ride
An hour and a half away.
an hour and a half away, and then they have to drive another 20 minutes in a gas fuel car
Big old
to
Cadillac.
the event.
It's not
Big
an
old
EV.
Cadillac.
But then they were like,
Yeah.
well, why can't they just get in a horse buggy?
Or, yeah, just
Right?
bike it.
I mean,
dude.
that's the best. You just give some horse some grass and you water it. Feed
Exactly.
Why not one of them little electric bikes with the
It. You can get
with the
some
thing
pads
that
to put,
Exactly.
underneath.
or
and,
the
that's some
tug
suspension
the thing you put on the back
Yeah,
of a bike
yeah.
and just let them
But
roll.
Yeah, just
You
let
know-
them roll.
But the thing is, they want to be
buggy.
comfortable. They want to live in their luxurious
And they also,
world.
how much did it cost to pop up a city for a few days?
That was
And then pop it
ridiculous.
down.
Hey,
they
I
do
don't
it
think
every
they-
time.
Exactly.
They
Did they
last
do it this
time?
time?
Yeah, I
They
think
did
so.
it this time. They did it last time. So that tells you right there they do it every time.
And that's where Jack Posobiec was arrested.
We were like, I like the city atmosphere a little better. Could you
Pop
can you
it up.
put the front of a building right there? That'd be nice. Thank you.
They're just the WEF is. Oh, did you? I didn't read the article, but apparently Greta Thunberg was mad at Klaus Schwab for something.
Oh no.
So they're fighting each other now. Like, it's great.
Well,
Greta,
they had a
Greta.
staged arrest of Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, it was bad.
What?
Because see, here's the thing.
They're
She,
bad at
So
Okay,
see,
wait.
here's the thing.
This is why we need to have an episode.
yeah.
exactly. And I have a
Look.
photo of it.
We got half of us
We gotta
got
have an
kids,
episode,
man.
y'all.
See, and
I'm paying attention to Bluey when I should be paying attention to what's going on in
see,
Davos.
here's the
You
funny
can go
thing.
to watch
but
Bluey.
Bluey is awesome.
So just to lead us
It's
into our next
hilarious.
episode, I think we should talk about Greta Thunberg here for a second. shouldn't we?
Okay.
But I know nothing. So
Okay,
you
so
just
here
be
we go.
Telling me something.
All right, so I can tell you and then you can do some research on it. What about that?
That'll work.
Okay, so Greta, there was a expansion of a coal mine in Germany, so Greta went there instead of Davos. She interfered. She went to interfere with it, and then she was arrested. Staged photo.
Mhm.
Then they took her to the police station, got her information, and then they released her. That's it.
Yeah. And I mean, when you look at the arrest,
The arrest.
it's not like they went in, handcuffed her, walked her out, and maybe
Yeah.
have some
They
photographers following her. They literally were standing there, and she was going.
Smiling. No, they had her arms out.
I couldn't remember, but I mean, it was like she was literally just standing there, and there was people just circling around her as the cops were just standing there holding her.
And she
it's
was
like,
smiling. She
what?
was smiling and laughing
But
too.
I didn't understand if it was supposed to
Smiling.
be real. Why are the cops standing there,
Well,
allowing just all the
I-
media to just
Yeah.
here's what-
You'd
I
be
think-
moving them to
here's
the
what- here's
or
what I think.
escorting them.
I think they knew who she was.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to get the media attention for themselves.
That's
too.
right. That's funny. We should do a little side episode about all the fake things, like Pelosi with the camera crew on
Oh.
January 6th.
And the
Damar Hamlin. Did
yeah.
you seen that?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's weird. I want you guys to look up
Well-
Damar Hamlin and him coming back to that Bills game.
Well,
It is freaking weird.
remember he
They
was
didn't show his face.
Well,
had
he
a hood
posted.
on that was like.
Good.
They have
Glasses,
a few.
mask.
I saw it. I saw a his Twitter.
That's
He put
weird.
he posted a tweet on his Twitter. It's a photo, and somebody graffitied him and his shoulder pads and jersey and his helmet on the wall.
Yeah.
The wall, and he went over there and he's like his head's down, but you can see his face. It looks kind of creepy, but it looks slightly off, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it looks just like him.
So there's it. Have you seen a video?
Yeah, I saw the video.
recently of him.
No.
With nothing
Well-
on his face saying, "Hey guys, I'm doing okay. Thanks for all the
Don't
love."
you think
Well,
if that was coming out?
they have something in his mouth for oxygen, apparently, like a little pack.
Well,
Oxygen.
wait. Okay, if they have
I'm
something
the
like that,
Mohammed.
and this is you're not talking about the
No,
the-
not those, not nothing's in those.
So
It's
if it
something-
is, why was he standing at the window waving
Right.
at people?
I don't
And
know.
chilling. He was
Well,
there like it was.
they're
the
monitoring him,
game.
too.
He was bouncing around.
Yeah, but I
and
mean, if
clapping.
you have to have something in your mouth, there
Something
ain't
like
no
that.
way you're going to be standing up, walking to a window and waving.
No,
I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense.
either it's he has it on him in the room and he just puts it in his mouth and then takes it out.
he
But
is
then that means he can
dead.
make a video
Yeah.
saying, "Hey guys,
Yeah,
I'm good."
fine, yeah,
so I mean,
sure.
none of it
And I
is a
was,
reason for not making a
Let's see.
I am sticking to death until I see a video of him saying thank you for the love and actually
Thank you for the support,
speaking.
yeah.
You know, that's got to come
Well,
out.
also,
I
and
think
I
they're
mean,
working on that right now.
I know I probably shouldn't tell you cures, but did you see the symbols that he was
Wait.
doing?
Well,
I think he was doing the love.
He was
symbol.
doing the heart.
No.
He
There
was doing the
one
heart.
that he was like this, and there was one where he
it
was
looked like
this.
it. It looked like that.
No, these
Oh.
fingers were sticking straight up. I will
Oh.
find it.
That could have
See.
been like
I will find it and show you.
Let's see.
No,
doctored.
See,
it
here's
was not.
here's that
'Cause there
photo I
was
was
two of
talking
them.
about.
There was two of them.
Why is he? What is up with that, bro?
See, his
Oh,
face
I
is
wish
down.
you could share it. Oh dang! I just got.
I
on
can
the
hear
screen,
him.
Sorry.
Let me show. Let me put this in.
Y'all can look that up. Y'all can look that up. All right, are we?
There you go. Oh, apparently Senator Josh Hawley introduced a bill called the Pelosi Act.
Oh,
It's
good.
called the it's
Meaning?
it's to block insider trading within Congress. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
I
Because
love
Pelosi,
that.
the Pelosi's are the big ones.
How
you know.
cocky.
And
I
are
love
we
it.
keeping with the single item bills?
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
goodness.
I wonder
That's
if
what
she
they're
could sue for defamation if he's like putting
Well,
a
if
bill
he's
in her
found
name.
faults, if he says that and it's found faults that she did that, she probably
Yeah,
could.
she should,
Well,
like, be
now the thing is,
prosecuted.
but the thing is now, if she is caught insider trading, he be like, haha, I caught you. You know, there's sources that she's actually doing it. Her aides
Yeah.
will probably be coming out and talking about
Well,
it.
any public servant, Benny Thompson of Mississippi, that
Michael
goes
Guest.
in and then becomes a millionaire,
Well, Michael Guest is not
something's
You
happening.
see,
There's some insider
there's
stuff.
there's insider stuff and there's lobbyist stuff too.
You
'Cause
know,
the
I like
lobbyists
here
pay
at
them
the
money,
end
too.
of the show, kind of just different topics.
Uh-huh.
We'd love it if you guys would like to share a topic, you know, that you want to hear us speak on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
agree.
Talk to us.
we can stick on one topic, but we
But
just have fun bouncing.
To be honest
around.
with you, we should do like bouncing around a little bit every so
Yeah,
often.
yeah.
Just every
Yeah,
so
yeah.
often, not like
Yeah.
big,
Bang.
broad topics, but we're just like, oh, we're gonna talk about this, this, and this today.
There you go.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've enjoyed going over these Twitter
Twitter
files
files.
and
Me too.
digging into this. Hopefully, we will we'll get some more of this. Hey, I just got to give a shout out. Got to see my shirt. Hold on, guys.
Fauci
Can't do
died.
that.
People died.
Died.
Pick a side. Okay.
Pick a side.
All right. That's all I got to say about that.
Fauci. So I think Fauci's the Dr. Mingalo of the current century.
Who's Dr. Mingalo?
He's the one who did tests on the Jews under Hitler.
Oh, okay, the one, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
the
he
angel
one
of
we hung?
death. We hung him. Yeah,
We hung that.
we
dude.
hung that dude. I think.
Oh, that's good.
Some people said he
Come
went
and
to
grab Fauci.
Argentina.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a CIA, a classified, declassified article that they said they found Hitler in Argentina. The CIA did.
Oh Lord, I wouldn't doubt it.
I went down.
Oh, I was watching
All
this.
these
I can't remember
suicides.
which one it was on, but it was one with all these conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
But basically, they just went through these different conspiracy theories. Of course, the first one was the Hitler.
in
and
Argentina.
when
yeah.
was he dead? And then they like went up and looked at his body, and it was weird because it actually had video footage of people going and actually looking
Ooh.
at what was supposed to be.
One of the things I
That's
really want
weird.
to look into
weird.
is those declassified documents about JFK.
Yeah.
Because now I'm hearing a lot of people on these truther channels and these
Channels.
more conspiracy channels, you know, saying, "See, I told you." Well,
Exactly.
I haven't paid
Well,
it. I
Here's-
haven't really looked to
here's-
see what the evidence is.
here's-
That's my bad.
Here's
my bad.
here's my thing. If the CIA won't give up that last 10 to 15% of the documents related to the JFK assassination, by law, they should have given those documents up. Oh gosh, 5 years ago,
Yeah.
somewhere within the last 5 years. It should have been all the documents should have been released about 5 years ago. But the CIA is holding on to the rest of them.
I think we're being prepared for a lot of D-class.
I agree.
Because we're finding out that everybody and their grandmama has classified documents laying in
Apparently.
garages.
Apparently.
and
Where's
trunks.
yours, Steven?
That's what I'm saying. It's in my trunk.
I
didn't
hey,
know
it's
it was
right over
there.
there in that box. There
Box.
My secretary
Yeah.
did it.
It's in that
Anyway.
cardboard box, just like Biden's.
I think we
In
are
the garage.
being prepared for a declassification of a lot of info. I mean, JFK came out. Then the alien stuff a couple of years ago with the UFO stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Radio.
being prepped right now to really get a wake up. I think we're ready. And if you
Yeah.
stay hooked with us on this channel, like us, subscribe, share. I'm doing your part.
Hey, doing a good job.
But
Go
do
ahead.
it
I
because
tip my hat, sir.
we need to awaken. We need
I
to
agree.
grow. This
Mm-hmm.
movement is just getting started. We have communication availabilities like this. Use them
Right.
and stay
And we
connected.
encourage you guys to do the same thing we've been doing on this episode that we do every episode. We research, we look,
dig.
and we ask questions. This is why we say comment, because personally, I would like to have some conversations with people that may not necessarily agree with us. This is the way, Discord is going to be the way to keep everybody in check.
Exactly.
I don't like echo chambers.
No,
No,
I hate
hate
it.
them.
like them. It's like, and
See-
I feel like you are you're Gen Z.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm millennial, barely. We are.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be.
Yes, I
I
am.
think you're 6 months out.
No.
But anyway.
No.
Just she says I'm Gen Z. I don't care.
We're,
I am.
we are
Millennial,
not-
sorry.
We do
I
not
ain't no
want to be
millennial.
in this echo. We don't want to be just
See-
conservative saying, Obama bad, Biden horrible. You know, it's like okay,
But the thing
I
is-
want to speak.
Exactly.
And there's
Well,
got to be a lot
obviously.
more
Well, see,
meat to it.
that's the problem with the left. They're so intense with their
Right.
echo chamber.
Yes,
They won't
They won't
allow
let you
they can't hear
divert
consent.
one way or
exactly. See, if you say
Or dissent.
let's say
Marshall
Steven's a
correct
liberal,
that, I promise.
right, and I'm a liberal, and I say one thing you don't disagree with, you're canceled like that.
It's like
It's crazy. Why?
I don't like you.
like say it's weird. It's just
Well,
why
do
are they
like I
doing that?
do. I've taught my child this. You may be around people that you disagree with. It may be something that you can't stand. Maybe somebody that just annoys you in class.
Exactly.
What you do is you find a way around it. You find a way to really be able to get along, because the same thing is going to happen at your job.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to pick your coworkers. You're not going
No.
to be able to pick your boss, and you're going to have to be able to get along with other people
That's
who have
good.
differing
Opinions.
opinions, but you're going to have to get along with them.
And
That's a
by
good
law,
word,
you can
Kim.
talk politics at work if you keep it under,
Yeah.
certain.
Civil.
Politics needs to be a part of the discussion again. Bump that where it's like, oh, don't bring up politics. Whatever.
Well, see-
don't get so mad because I disagree on politics
See,
with you, bro.
And people say, "Oh, well, it's not good for the community." I'm like,
It's
that's-
perfect for the
that's how you-
community.
that's how
It
you
keeps
bring up the
everybody in
community.
check.
What America was built on, bro.
Discord.
And even before America, England with the
Right.
Parliament and stuff. We discord.
English common
exactly.
law, basically.
Yes.
English common law.
So love it, man.
Guys,
Good
this was a
episode.
chock full
Really good
episode.
episode.
I think it's time to go. All
I
right.
agree.
Do it.
I gotta get home.
All right. Thank you guys for sticking around.
My mama's calling.
I think we're going to end it this time, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for sticking around. We're really glad to get into all this. And, of course, if the Fauci files wanted to drop out or anything, we'll have a special little
Anthony,
episode to
yes.
finish it out.
I agree.
But, stay tuned next week. We think we're going to do World Economic Forum, but, that topic may be to change. We'll
talk
see.
about it.
But we're going to have our episode. Our episodes, by the way, will be dropping live premieres on YouTube every Friday at 7 o'clock Central. So just Friday,
PM.
7 o'clock, next episode's coming up. So y'all can just set it by that. But please like, share, subscribe. Share it with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
We want to have an open conversation. Please comment below. We want to hear your thoughts on this.
I want to steal it from Jameson Haygood right at .9 WYAB here in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm going to steal his little punchline. Y'all tell 10 people about the show. Just do
Please.
it. Watch it spread.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Spread the love.
That's not hard. You know more
Just
than
10
10 people a day.
That's
Text
how
it.
Crowder did
You can
it.
group text it. Look, check out these goofballs.
Yes.
Anyway.
That's
All
funny.
right. Peace out, y'all. Have a great week. Love ya.
Peace.
Let me find my spot.